All of us grow up learning how to behave in our own society, wherever that may be, in North or South America, Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa. We know and understand what's acceptable, and we don't have to think about many of the ways we behave day to day. It may be as simple as getting into a taxi, pointing at someone, or giving someone a dozen roses. But visit another country, another culture, and we can easily do something that seems wrong to others. You may even witness a visitor doing something unexpected in your own community. Making a cultural mistake may be something you do or something you say. Let's look at some examples of people making cultural gaffes around the world, including in the United States. And then let's see how to recover from these mistakes, or better yet, how to avoid them in the first place. And we'll look at how you can help visitors recover when you see them doing something unexpected.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
Sniffing your food during a meal in Uganda is an insult to the host. It implies that you suspect the food is spoiled, not that you are appreciating the aroma. If you must check, be discreet.
Okay, well, it's a long walk home. I better be going.
Okay, well, no, thank you so much for coming.
Oh,
It's great to have
you.
you.
Thank you for having me. It's good to see you.
So I see you later, and say hi to your brother for me.
Okay.
Okay,
Good night.
bye.
Thanks for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
In a small village, when a guest leaves your home, it is polite to walk your guest partway home, at least to the first bridge. After parting, you both walk home. That way, the guest doesn't have to leave alone. In Australia, it is customary and respectful to sit up front with the taxi driver. Passengers in the United States, however, normally ride in the back seat of a taxi cab, and the driver will be surprised by someone attempting to sit in front. In Denmark and other countries in Europe, it is rude to squeeze past seated people with your backside facing them. To be polite, move down the row facing the people you are passing.
All right. It was good to see you. Take care. Bye.
Wow, that guy is so cute. You know, just this.
Indicating the height of a person with your hand, no matter how young or old, is rude in Colombia. That gesture is reserved only for describing an animal and is insulting when used for humans. In Thailand, the head is considered sacred. Thus, you should not touch a person, including a child, on the head. It is normal and expected that a business meeting starts from half an hour to an hour after the appointed hour. Arriving on time is arriving early.
Can you tell me where the library is?
Yes, it's in the back on the first floor.
In Europe and many other parts of the world, what is called the first floor is one story up from the street level. But in the United States, the first floor is the ground floor. No need for an elevator.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to my home.
Thank you. It's so great to be here. What are you cooking?
Oh, well, I'm about to boil up some potatoes, but I
Uh-huh.
don't have enough water, actually. Would you ask one of the children to go down to the well and fill this up for me?
Well, I'm happy to do it myself.
Although his intention was good, it is inappropriate for a man to fetch water in most West African communities. Men have many roles to play, but fetching water from a spring or pump is usually a task only for women or girls.
Here you go, whenever you're ready.
Great, thank you. Ah, easy. $10.
In Europe and elsewhere, restaurant bills include a tip of 15%, and it is not necessary to leave an additional tip. However, in the United States, tips ordinarily are not included, so make sure you add at least 10 or 15% to the cost of the meal.
Hello there,
Hey,
nice
great.
to meet you.
In Jordan and throughout the Middle East, it is customary for a greeting between a man and a woman to be initiated by the man. A woman should not initiate shaking hands.
Yeah, so the other day remember that day when we went to the store? I wanted.
Pointing at a person is considered offensive. If you want to draw attention to someone else, you can purse your lips and tilt your head, use your eyes, or say something quietly.
Hi.
How are you?
Great, so nice to see you again. Hey, I got you 12 roses.
Thank you.
In Romania and elsewhere in Eastern Europe, it is customary to carry flowers with the blossoms down, not up. But much more important, make sure you give an odd number of flowers for a happy occasion. Even numbers of blossoms are only for funerals.
Hey, Shayna, how are you?
Hi. I'm not so well, actually. I didn't sleep very well last night, so...
In English, the expression, "How are you?" is more a greeting than a question. It is not appropriate to answer the question literally, even if you are not feeling well. Most people simply repeat the greeting to the original speaker, and how are you? Okay, you can see how easy it is not to know a local custom and behave a little awkwardly. It happens to everyone who visits other cultures. But it doesn't have to happen often if you try to prepare yourself. And when it happens, you can usually wiggle out of the problem gracefully. In the first Peace Corps video on cultural gaffes, we advise travelers headed abroad, 1, to read about the local habits before leaving. 2, to talk to people ahead of time who understand local customs. 3, to be aware of other people's reactions to your personal behavior. And 4, to watch how others around you are behaving. Those are still the basic tactics for learning about the idiosyncrasies, the unique behaviors in another culture. What happens when you make a mistake? You won't always be aware that you've goofed, but you'll usually be able to tell. If people respond awkwardly, if they are suddenly silent, or if they tell you outright. Try to be direct. Ask what you've done wrong. Apologize if you think it's appropriate, and thank the local person for explaining your error. You can try to laugh about it along with others if you haven't done anything particularly serious. To turn the tables, what happens when you see a visitor to your own community make a cultural gaffe? Perhaps the easiest thing to do, and the most helpful, is to be upfront about it. For example, "Excuse me, I just wanted to note that in the United States, passengers normally ride in the back seat of a taxi. Don't worry, it's not serious." Or, "Thank you for the beautiful dozen roses. They're lovely. I will put 11 of them in this vase and 1 in the vase in the kitchen. You see, in Romania, our custom is to give odd numbers of flowers." Most people around the world understand that it isn't easy fitting in perfectly when you travel. They'll give you some leeway to make mistakes, but just like the old warning on the railroad crossings in the countryside, stop, look, and listen. And you'll be well attuned to doing the right things at the right times. There's a whole world out there. Adios, au revoir, ciao, take care, enjoy your journey.